Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. Today I am back with another book trigger related video because I love books. There's nothing better to me than books. Today I am going to be talking about the books I read in the month of January. Now, I know we still have a couple days in the month of January, but unfortunately I'm not one of those bookworms that can read like 10 books in a month. I wish I was. But hopefully this will be just a fun, non-serious video for you guys. So let's get started. First, I'm going to bring out my reading journal. I don't know where this coffee stain came from or how it came to be, but it ruined it. But it's okay, the pages are still okay. So this is a reading journal. I got this in my Secret Santa package. I'm also chewing gum, but I'll try not to do it too obnoxiously. So, let's open her up. There's a reading goals page for the year of 2024. And this says, a magical year with books. You have the month, how many books you read, how many pages, and then how many books were bought. So in the month of January, I read 3 books, 1,760 pages, and I bought 2 books, which were Matthew Perry book and the Remarkably Bright Creatures book, which I still haven't read, but that one is on my list. So I did pretty good for the month of January. Okay, so starting off, we're going to get Mr. Kindle here. The first book I read was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. Now, about this book, now it does have a little synopsis, but I don't want to give any spoilers. So I'm going to give my synopsis so it doesn't give, because in their synopsis on Kindle, it's almost like they give you all this information before you even get to read the book. But pretty much Naomi Witt is a runaway bride, and she goes to the city of Knockmont, Virginia to help her twin sister out of a jam. But she's also running away from her wedding to somebody that she decided she just didn't want to be married to. And there is a barber slash bar restaurant owner named Knox, and he is delicious. Yeah, he's a bearded bad boy barber, Knox. And, you know, he's one of those guys that just wants to live by himself. He isn't interested in anything serious. You know, he just wants to have fun, no drama, no anything like that. And then Naomi comes to town and she has all this baggage, all this drama. And then when Naomi gets to Virginia, she also realizes she has an 11-year-old niece she didn't know about. And Knox also has a brother named Nash, who is chief of police, and Knox's and Nash's relationship is pretty rocky as well. And then you can guess what happens, but I do not want to give any spoilers away. But let's go this part of my reading journal here, where it has, you can put the title here, the author, date started and date finished, the format, the rating, the genre, and then your favorite quotes and notes on there. So, of course, it was Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, book 1 in the series, 572 pages. I started on January 1st and finished it on January 11th. Format was, of course, a Kindle. Rating, now I'm very lenient when it comes to my ratings on the books that I read. I will not give a 5-star rating unless I cried and laughed and about passed out through the whole thing. I gave it 3.5 stars, but that does not mean I didn't immensely enjoy it. So I gave it 3.5 stars, and then the genre, in my opinion, is rom-com / mystery. I love this book because it was funny. It not only got me invested in the relationship dilemma, but it also really got me invested in all the other characters. And I love books like that, where it's not just invested in the relationship, but also in every other character in the book. And I love that. I laughed out loud so many times. There were also some very heartwarming moments, and there was a pretty good amount of mystery in the book as well. And I'm not usually into mysteries, but I really enjoyed this one. Some of my favorite quotes was one that said, "There's a difference between taking care of someone because you love them and taking care of someone because you want them to love you." I lost myself while trying to convince someone else that I was what he wanted. I had forgotten who I was because I let someone else take over the definition. I saw myself so much in Naomi. Just the way she acted, how she loved people, and how kind she was. Actually, I saw myself in all the heroine characters in the books. See, that's what I love about it. I almost wanted to give it a 4-star just because of that, but I gave it a 3.5 star, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good for me. Okay, so okay. Now, the second book that I read was, of course, hold on. Things We Hide from the Light, which is book 2 of the Knockmont, Virginia series. This one centers around Nash, who is Knox's brother and the chief of police. Now, I won't say what happens, but something happens to Nash in the first book. Hopefully that's not too much spoiling, but something happens to him to where he is obviously dealing with some PTSD, with some depression, going through a dark time. And then in comes Lena, who is like a investigator, insurance investigator type person. Like, she finds things that people have stolen, like these mob people have stolen, and she gets them back for like a payout type of thing. And so, and she is also the friend of Naomi, and I forget where she works in the second book. I forget, but okay, so it's Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. It was 594 pages. I started it on January 11th and finished it on January 20th. Kindle, of course, was the format. At first, I gave it a 4-star, but I think I need to come down a little bit and give it a 3.5 star because it was a little drawn out. I will say that. It was also a rom-com / mystery. And some of my favorite quotes were, "Maybe the dark was an empty, meaningless existence, but it was the light that could burn you. Whenever you're close, everything is better. The closer you are, the easier I breathe. You take away the dark, the cold, and you remind me what it is like to want to be here." So, like I said about the first book, I love that it centers around all the characters in the book. I fell in love with every single character. I love the relationship between Lena and Nash. It's very spicy. That's something I didn't say about this first book. This series is very spicy. I would not recommend it to anyone under the age of 16. It's pretty spicy. Like, okay, I'll wait until I get to the third book in the series, but I think I'm going to dwindle it down to 3.5 stars, but it was still so good, so good. I definitely recommend this series. Just because I only gave it 3.5 stars doesn't mean I didn't love it. It got me out of such a huge book slump, and I just really needed it. You know how you can escape into a book, and how wonderful that feeling is. It made me laugh, it made me cry, it just got me so invested, and it was Things We Hide from the Light. So good, so good, so good. Okay, the last book I read for the month of January is, hold on a second. Hold on. Where is it? One second. Okay, so the third book is Things We Left Behind, which is book 3 to in the last book, I think, to the Knockmont, Virginia series. This one centers around the librarian. The library in the town of Knockmont, Virginia. And this centers around the librarian and Nash's and Knox's best friend, Lucian. I did give this one 4 stars. Okay, so I'll show you guys this. So it was The Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. It's book 3 and the last book of the series. And it's 594 pages. I started on January 20th and finished January 29th. 4 stars. Some of my favorite quotes were, "You remembered," she said softly. "I remember every second of us." Chardonnay is the most important meal of the day. Like I told you guys, these books were so funny. Like some of, like I was laughing through the nighttime. My mom was like, "What are you laughing about?" I love this book because it's centered around a family too. Sloane is the librarian's name. I don't know if I told you guys. She just, at the beginning of the book, you find out she just lost her father. And you also find out that her and Lucian have a past. They grew up together. They grew up next door to each other when they were teenagers. And something happens. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. But they act like they hate each other. And they can't stand each other. And then, as everybody knows, that is just a volcano getting ready to erupt. And boy, did it erupt. This, in my opinion, Things We Left Behind was the spiciest of the 3. Like, I had to take a break from it. Like, I had to lay it down and then pick it back up. Like, this book was spicy, spicy, spicy. I would even say for this book, nobody under the age of 18 should be reading this book. It was super spicy. Like, I was praying to God yesterday. I was like, "God, please forgive me for reading smutty books. And please forgive me for enjoying them." So that was the 3 books that I read for January. There's also this page, though, where you put all the best books for each month in these little brackets. My favorite of the month was definitely Things We Left Behind. And then they have, you go over here and you can put the best books for January through April, blah, blah, blah. And then you get the book of the year at the end of the year. And then they have this little page where you can actually color it. And you have all the spines, which I wrote on. I need to get some crayons. But I had so much fun reading all these books. They really took my mind off of everything going on right now. It was the perfect series to get into. And I thank God that they offered it on Kindle Unlimited. And I didn't have to buy them. Now, I'm going to show you guys the book that I'm, like, I haven't gotten that far into it at all. I haven't even started the first book yet. I mean, the first chapter yet. But I told myself that for the month of February, I want to read a lot of romance books. Maybe romance books that made me cry. Romance books that made me laugh. Fantasy romance books. If you guys have any recommendations, I would love that. But this is the book. And I've seen this all over TikTok, and guys, I'm ready to cry. So this is the book I'm reading right now, 1,000 Boy Kisses by Dylan Cole. I am super excited about reading this one. And I hope it's as good as everybody made it out to be. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was like in a FaceTime type of angle. I hope you enjoyed that. And I love you guys. I'll be talking to you soon. Okay.